Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective tarot for today. Today is Saturday, June 21st, 2025. You may follow me on the Talk, the Tube, the Lemonade, the Blue Sky Social, Pinterest, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever does not, just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use Intuitive City Oracle, Rob Barthelman. You can find this at intuitiveintention.com, My Intuitive Intention on Etsy, and he also sells his decks in the TikTok shop. We got 2 on the table, 3 on the table. Oh, okay. Kind of. Okay. Four on the table. We do have a major and it's in reverse. Okay, hold on. Okay, we got 5, 6. Okay, we've got 6 cards on the table. We have 1 card in reverse. We have 2 majors, and one of those majors is in reverse. Let's do 2 more shuffles. Seven on the table. Eight on the table. 9 with bottom of the deck. Oh, bottom of the deck is the star. The star. I do like the star. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. That's my favorite. The sun. And it's not even, it wasn't in the top of the deck. It was like 5 or 6 cards in. All right. We've got 5 of Wands. We've got Ace of Cups. We've got the Empress in reverse. Didn't we just do the reading last night on the Empress, who wasn't really an Empress? 5 of Swords. We've got 9 cards with bottom of the deck. Okay. Sorry, I'm just counting my layout here. We got 3 of Swords in reverse. I don't really do any fancy layout. I don't do a Celtic cross or any of that shit. Strength. You do what you want, but I'm not doing that. We've got Page of Swords. We've got Page of Cups. Some youthful energy there. Okay. Makes sense. Bottom of the deck, we got Queen of Wands. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. Yeah, this is an Empress. I'm going to read it as an Empress, okay? An Empress in reverse. But take how it resonates for you. So this Empress in reverse, this is someone with the 5 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. This is someone that's realizing, like, life really isn't going the way that they planned. Like, the things that they had wanted for themselves, they don't have. The things that they wanted for themselves slipped through their fingers. And mostly due to their own, I'll just say lack of ambition. Empress energy is typically someone that's taken care of, right? It's a very nurturing, motherly character. But also when you look at the Empress is taken care of, you know? Like the emperor takes care of the empress. It's kind of like king and queen. And it's a very quote unquote soft life, okay? When you really think about it, okay? And fun fact, a long time ago in the kingdom far, far away, the king was the king because they were the ruler, and the queen was a name that was made up for the role of the queen, but they were typically referred to as a prostitute. That's what the word queen originally meant. And if you really think about it, and not to be sexist, not to be mean, not to be an ass, the queen was there to support the king. The queen was a supportive role, yes, but not really a prominent one. Not really someone that, stood out there and worked for the people and fought through the government and all that stuff. The queen was there to service the king in all ways. So, yeah. Do I agree with the wording? No. No, I don't. But back in the day, that's originally what the word queen meant. So when you look at emperor and empress, it's kind of almost similar. I don't approve of the basic undertone. And that's me putting it nicely. I think it's rude as fuck. It's sexist as fuck towards women. But, we still deal with that in 2025. So should we be shocked? No, not really. The Empress in reverse is someone that they're still taken care of. Okay. But this is someone that's not as nurturing, not as motherly, not as loving. This is someone more focused on themselves. Whoever this Empress in reverse is, this is someone realizing that maybe the life path that they chose wasn't the best one for them. Like, it's not overall, in the long run, it's not working out for this person. They're awakening to this fact. They're coming to this conclusion, right? You can't be woke until you awaken. Or should I go like this? With the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords in reverse. So this is somebody that has a lot to work on. If they're going to awaken, if they're going to start a healing journey, if they're going to start healing their wounds, taking care of themselves, maybe going to therapy, whatever the case may be, this is somebody that has a lot of work ahead of them. And it's very much an internalization, right? Like a self-judgment. Like if this was the judgment card, this is like a self-judgment. Like I got to take care of myself. I got to figure this shit out. Like I don't like where I went, and now I want to change direction and do something else for myself. Better myself, I just heard be myself. I just did the collective. It's posting to YouTube right now. It's about 36, 37 minutes. And it's about standing in your truth and being your own person, even when people around you are fake and wearing masks. This person, this Empress in reverse, might have worn a mask. They probably did wear a mask, right? They're in reverse. Or they were in reverse. Their whole life could have been a lie. I talked about that in the reading that's posting right now, too. Putting up a facade, wearing a mask to the world. And for what? You realize that you put a lot more work into doing that than if you had just told the truth and lived your life naturally. But people are typically taught from a very young age to keep up appearances. Keeping Up Appearances. If you never watched it, it's a really good British show from back in the day. Inner strength, This Empress is going to need it. Like this is someone that has a lot to work on. Because you're talking about somebody that was either in Empress status and let it go, or they were supposed to be and they never had it. It's still a possibility. It's always going to be a possibility. Either way, this person has a lot to work on to get there, to rebuild that for themselves. Again, we got the Page of Swords. Can you guys hear that? Does that make a noise like when I move the thing around? Does that sound loud? I don't know. I always wonder, but I always forget to ask. I know I've hit it before and I've apologized, but I never thought to say anything. Anyway, the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. Very young energy. This person probably suffers from a lot of childhood wounds, which is probably why they became what they became as an adult. Okay? And again, it's just energy. I have no real way of knowing how old this person is. I'm not getting any downloads or messages on that. 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I have no flipping clue. The thing is when you don't heal those childhood wounds, you tend to carry your childhood into adulthood and not in a positive way. So with the Page of Swords, Truth Seeker, Page of Cups, youthful emotion. Page of Cups in reverse is immaturity. I mean, this person really teeter-totters, let's just be honest, on reverse and upright. Because there's definitely immaturity there. But as they're starting to heal from this, it's just going to be more of a youthful perspective, because it's going to morph from toxic to enlightenment. So it's no longer immature, it's just youthful, if that makes sense. But again, it's with the Page of Swords, the Page of Cups, it's just like a youngin'. it's just someone like they're behind. It's almost like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it's almost like someone with like stunted mental growth, because they never healed from whatever happened to them in childhood. They carried all that with them. So when you carry all that with you, you tend to be in more of like a childlike mindset. I was talking about this in the last read as well. Being friends with people. I was talking about being in a friend group with these 3 younger women who, now I'm just going to call them girls because that's how they behave. Because some people never grow out of that. And it's not even that they necessarily realize or they think it's toxic, even though others might look at it and think it's toxic, because technically it is. But some people just never grow out of like that teenager mindset, and they carry that into adulthood, and that's not okay. Like, you can't, if I tell my friend Betty, I'm using the name Betty again. For some reason, I've been using the name Betty in my head like all day. I was thinking about my cat, Homer. I was thinking, I said it out loud, if he had been a girl orange cat, I would have named him Brown Betty. Because as orangies get older, they tend to get browner. I would have named him Brown Betty. Anywho, maybe I just needed to say that. Anyway, let's say I'm friends with Betty, and Betty sees that I've started to become friends with Louise. And she doesn't like Louise. Louise is prettier, smarter, more talented, has a husband, has kids, while Betty is still single and looking. And just as attractive, right? Because I'm never going to tell anybody like, oh, you're ugly. No, I think everybody's beautiful in their own way, no matter what. Fuck that. Everyone's beautiful. So Betty finds out I'm friends with Louise. Betty's jealous of Louise. So not only is she going to torture Louise by, making fun of Louise and making up rumors and saying shit behind her back, Now she's going to do that to me. That is a very childlike energy. Like, you don't behave that way as an adult, right? Well, wrong, because I've dealt with that as an adult. I continue to deal with that as an adult, especially in my workplace. They all act like children. So this is what I'm just saying. Page of Cups, Page of Swords, it's a very youthful energy. It's someone that isn't quite there yet. Not far off, but they're not quite there yet. They still have like a childlike mindset. Again, more than likely due to whatever this trauma was from their past, okay? The Empress energy, whether in reverse or not, Queen of Wands, charismatic, alluring. Empress, the Empress card gives off that energy as well. Again, you're talking like a caring, loving, giving, motherly energy. But it can also come off as well put together, right? Even independent, honestly, because it's the Empress. I was going to say well endowed, but I don't mean it to sound like that. It's just somebody that has all their ish together, right? They definitely come off as this. Whether, to me, just me personally, when I look at tarot, the Empress, it definitely works in conjunction with the Queen of Wands. Because it, to me, it gives off that energy, whether the Empress is upright or in reverse. And it's kind of funny because the Queen of Wands in reverse says excessive control. I mean, really, when you think about it, the Empress in reverse is pretty close to the same thing. Self-focus. I mean, that's all they're thrown in together, honestly. When you really think about it. With the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords, this is somebody that's going to take a while to heal from their wounds, from their past. They're going to continue to sit in that youthful energy, that youthful emotion for a while. And I'm not saying like, oh, you have to hide away in a cage, until you heal yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this person with the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords, it's like this person could kind of revert back to their old way of life, in that, like, they're still learning to focus, they're still learning to implement, they're still learning how to heal themselves. This is someone that's going to look like they're fumbling around for a while, like they don't necessarily have it together, they don't necessarily know what they're doing, but eventually they will, just like everybody else that gets on a healing journey and figures their stuff out. I was going to say ish again. There is a tarot reader that I follow, Bronwyn Co 111. She says that all the time. Instead of shit, she says ish. She's a sweetheart, actually. It's funny because she recently realized that somebody was scamming on her YouTube, like stealing her videos and stuff, and started their own account on TikTok, I think it was. And she was so upset. She's like, I can't believe people are stealing my stuff and trying to make money off of me. You can't? There's some really shitty people out there, some really ishy people out there. I can totally believe that people steal people's accounts and stuff, take all their content. It's ridiculous. My thing is if anybody ever steals my stuff, at least come to Chicago and buy me a lunch or something. Like, I mean, I don't even make money off of my content. Like, if you're making money off my content, at least come buy me a burger or something. Shit. I mean, I'm never going to be able to do anything about it. I guess I can take them to court if I want to pay all the legal fees. Ooh. There's a mail reader on YouTube too that recently found out he was being copied, and he's like, "Okay, that's it. I don't know if I'm going to post here anymore. I'm going to go to TikTok." He did like six, seven videos on TikTok, and then he came back to YouTube. I'm like, just continue to do what you're doing. What do you think you're going to prove by just leaving your following on YouTube, which you have a large following, and going to TikTok where you have nothing? Nothing. See, I started on YouTube because I started my tarot channel on YouTube, my tarot and oracle channel on YouTube, because I just figured in the long run, YouTube was going to be here, whereas TikTok might not. And the last year and a half, couple years, whatever, everything that's gone on with TikTok, it is not the same. It is absolutely not the same. And there is no doubt in my mind that my account would be a lot farther along if it was the same. Like, I would have more followers. I would have more views and likes and all that. But because of what's been going on and suppressing media and suppressing content, it's not, most of it doesn't land. Most of it doesn't get out there. And they do that shit on purpose. So it's just not the same over there. And honestly, I like doing my videos on YouTube, and maybe one day I'll, get my ass in gear and do a live. I will tell you this, if I do a live, I'm probably not pulling cards. It's probably just going to be like a chat, you know, just to be honest, like a therapy session. So we can all therapize together. All right, I'm gonna leave it there for the good old Empress in reverse. She's got her work cut out for her, okay? Her or he or they, however you want to phrase that. But in all honesty, these last four cards, the Strength, the Page of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Queen of Wands, like, this is, to me, this is somebody that's going to be okay. This is somebody that's going to heal, continue to heal throughout their life, and they're going to be a-okay. And that's not to say that we all have our bumps and, our ups and downs, but, yeah. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I hope it resonates for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope you all have the rest of the weekend. I hope it's wonderful for you. I hope you have a great day and or evening. I'll talk to you later. Bye.